Well, I thought that was a really tough way for us to go out and finish the year, but it doesn't take away from the year that our kids had. I thought they played. We were really a very, very solid defensive team for most of the season. We struggled to score most of the season, and tonight the tables really turned. So tonight, I'll give Marshall a lot of credit. They came out and they made a lot of shots against us. And, our kids battled and fought and tried to find a way. I think the banked three with whatever it was, 17 seconds, was it? Was it 17 seconds ago in the game? Kid banked a three. Casey came back down and hit a three, so we kept our composure and certainly did our best to try to come back. But Marshall played a great game. They shot the ball extremely well, and unfortunately, fortunately for us, we were able to score well enough to stay in the game with them, but didn't really have a chance. Didn't pull it off the end.
Where did the 26 points come from?
Casey.
Well, it's funny because the assistant coach, Russ, asked me to shoot before the game, which I'd never done before, and I was a little hesitant because he's always on my my case about things, but I think that really helped, and getting in the gym a lot really built my confidence, and I guess it showed tonight.
Well, it's going to be required now. No, Casey's had really a great freshman season, and so to finish it in a game this way certainly bodes well for her for the future, but certainly is someone that is going to garner a lot more attention, so she's going to have to continue to work and progress.
Russ Rose.
You guys get so much effort from so many players. It's like an ensemble performance every night. I went back and checked the girls who did this and did that. There's just so many. And, you got that tonight, too. Do you want to speak about how this all for one for all thing that you've got going on here?
Well, our kids have an incredible amount of team chemistry, team togetherness, and that certainly bodes well. It's different games have different matchups, and we've been fortunate enough to play 10, 11 kids during a great majority of the season, and that's really helped us get to where we've gotten to this year. And it's what's great to see is that certain games, certain players step up and play more minutes than other games because the matchup really suits us well. And our kids are all about it, all about doing whatever it takes to be successful. And that's a really special characteristic.
Coach, what would you say was the one weakness of the game? Because if you take out the score and looking at the stats, this was a really good game on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Especially from the offensive side. So what would you say was the one weakness?
Well, I think if we're not going to be able to defend them better, and we really struggled to defend them, but if we're not going to defend them better, then we need to take care of the ball a little bit better. That was an area where we had some crucial turnovers during the course of the game, and they all seemed magnified because we were really struggling to get stops. If I could pick one thing we'd do better, it'd be defend better and really keep them, one, away from the rim, but two, also get out to arc shooters and contest arc shots. But if that's not going to be where we're going to be successful and we want to find a way to be successful, then we need to take care of the ball better. Mm-hmm. Right.
What she brought to the team, what are you losing, and what's the future for
Well, all three of our seniors. Last game, Mel Doss, Caitlin Garrity, Malika Glover didn't have a chance to play, but as someone who does a great deal getting our kids ready in practices. So certainly big losses for our program because of who they are and what they've done in their own ways. Malika is kind of the player who gets everyone excited, who does whatever it takes. Kate's really been a great rebounder, defender, but really a great communicator and I think a great role model for her teammates. Mel is someone we rely a great deal on, to find a way to put the ball in the basket. And so those are three major losses for us. And for our players who are returning, we really didn't focus on them tonight after this game. This is about those three seniors and celebrate what they've done. I told them this in the locker room. I think 3 years ago when the transition from Division II to Division I began, there weren't many people that really expected those three kids to have the careers that they've had in Division I and to continue to progress and continue to get better. And that's exactly what they've done. And so they receive should receive a lot of credit for that. Their legacy isn't this game tonight against Marshall. Their legacy is what they've done to help build this program, Northern Kentucky women's basketball, move it forward, and they've done just a tremendous job.
In your estimation, what happened, Dawn, after you had your last 10-point lead and they made a 15-5 run to tie it at 66?
Well, and I don't know exactly all the specifics of that happened at that point in time, but I know in the second half they were getting to the rim against us. Then when we finally took that away, then we weren't getting back out to arc shooters. But they had during that stretch, there were a couple loose ball possessions. Leah Scott kind of went off on us at that stretch, picked our pocket a couple times, went down and scored it. If we had to do it over again, would have gone into his zone a little bit quicker, but it's a little hard to do if you're turning it over. It's hard to transition back into it. You need to score or at least have dead ball turnover so you can get back. So I thought our kids really kept their composure, though. If we get a stop, if that bank three doesn't go in, which I'm not, but it did. If it doesn't, it's a totally different story at this point in time. That's basketball. That's exactly right. March Madness, I guess. There's some madness in that.
So what's your big takeaway from this game, Dawn?
Well, I think the takeaway from our kids is certainly that we have the opportunity. We can score. I think this year for a great portion of it, and certainly going into the conference tournament, that we've been able to be successful in games because we've defended really well. And tonight we didn't defend very well, but our offense clicked and we got some very good looks. And I thought our kids made adjustments during the course of the game with them not switching. Then they changed to switching. Then they went into some zones. So I think that's one of the takeaways. I also think it's hopefully an opportunity for our kids to understand that, for us, it keeps us hungry. And hopefully we go into the postseason and we're hungry to do a little bit more and do a little bit better next year.
What does hunger do for kids? You are a player. That's such an out there thing.
Right. What is it? Well, I think there's got to be a motivating factor. Zig Ziglar has a quote that says, motivation is something that is like bathing. You need it daily. And so that's what you do. And for that, Zig Ziglar, have you ever heard of him? I don't know. I'll get you the quote. I'll make sure it's exact. I don't know exactly how it goes. What's that? I don't know. I'll look it up and give it to you. It'll be better in the paper if it's right. Yeah, something like motivation is something that you need on a daily basis. And really, that for our players, if this is the motivating factor that gets them into the gym to put in extra time, to get after it, to handle the ball aggressively so they don't get it picked, or whatever it is. If this becomes a motivating factor, it's going to help move them as a player forward. It's going to help move us forward. I'll get you that quote. I'll help you, Mark. We'll make both of us look really good. How's that?
Thank you.
Casey, this is your first season. You've already played, obviously, a really tough regular season schedule, a conference tournament, and now a postseason tournament. You scored 26 points in the postseason game. What are your feelings now as a freshman, and what do you expect to do better or improve on or going into next season?
I think as a player you can always improve, and I know I need to improve. My consistency is how I play every game. Sometimes I'm up and sometimes I'm down. I really need to work on every aspect of my game, but I'm really looking forward to next year, and I hate this feeling and I don't want to feel this feeling again. So I'm really going to work, and I'm going to push everyone else to work too.
Coach, you've had steady improvement in the last 3 years of this transition. Next year is the last year of the transition. What would you say is the overall current state of the program?
Well, I think it's very bright. I think the future is very bright for us. I think we have some kids who have really added pieces to help us get better, and we're really excited about that moving forward. I certainly believe that playing in tournament action is great experience for us. We've gotten really 4 tournament games in now, and that's something that is a very good understanding piece for our players for the future, what it's like. They know, they've been there, they know what to expect. So I think those are all great things. I think for us, what was really interesting this year about our team was that we were a team, coaches always say you play like you practice. I've never coached a team like this one. We play exactly like we practice the day or 2 days before we play in games. And so yesterday in practice, we really struggled to defend and struggled to guard. but we scored the ball really well. And so it's very, very interesting. So if that becomes the motivating factor, if that becomes kind of the mantra for our players, then they have to understand, and they will, that whatever they put into this during the off season, during the summer, preseason, that they're going to benefit from it. And so they're going to play. This group of kids, for whatever reason, plays just like they practice. I've never been around anything like it. Usually you say that, but you got some gamers or things change a little bit. But this group, that's who they are. It defines them. And so moving forward, it's something that I think they can take away from this and understand every time they step on the court and put time in, it's going to be valuable time, one way or another.
Your first 22 baskets came with 17 assists. What does that say?
We share the ball. We share it, we move it, we swing it. We really want to run an equal opportunity offense, and I thought certainly in this game we got a lot of those very, very good looks during the course of it. When they got on their run, it felt like it was because we missed a couple shots. Maybe we took some early offense shots. We didn't get offensive rebounds. We had a couple turnovers. So, for us, the more the ball moves, the more we share it, a lot of times the better looks that we get.
Melody was strong in the jump start after not scoring in the last game. That's big.
Right.
You get that spark from a big
Right.
person. What did that give you there, at least in the?
Well, I think it gives our players confidence knowing that, we have the ability to put the ball in the basket. Mel's back in a way, and so she's someone that I think when she scored for us, gave everybody else a little sense of relief. And that's a very tough position to be in as a player. To be known as a scorer, to be expected to be the scorer, to have the other team know that you're the kid that we're coming to, and so. But she answered the call for us a lot of times. And there was a little piece of me that just kept thinking maybe it's going to happen one more time, but unfortunately it just didn't tonight. She hit 2 game winners our first year.